It's set to be another day of fun at the Rand Show. The event, held annually at the Johannesburg Nasrec Expo Centre, offers entertainment and new discoveries. Newzroom Afrika's Katleho is there and joins us now. Kat, I know you were there last year. Any new changes? What's happening out of the Rand Show this year?
A very good afternoon, Hugo. Lots of exciting activities here at the Johannesburg Expo Centre, where the 2024 Rand Show is underway. And as we mentioned earlier, it's fun activities for the whole family. You know, there's an exhibition centre where small businesses have their their products and services on display. There's rides behind us for the kids. There's all sorts of activities. And now where we are particularly is the exhibition of the SANDF. I just want to show you what's actually happening around me, Hugo. As you can see, people are being allowed to touch and look at the equipment that is used by the South African National Defence Force, and they're being guided and educated really by members of the SANDF about how all of this works. And it's just a fun space which breaks the taboo that the SANDF is not an accessible space, but I think them being here is trying to educate people and show them how things work. As you can see there, people are allowed to touch and use their senses to really get a feel of how stuff works here. But certainly, Hugo, what we've heard from the CEO of Rand Show, Adele, earlier on explaining, that it's about not just fun activities for kids, but it's also about educating people from different sides of society. And here we have the SANDF. I do want to bring into the conversation Lieutenant Colonel Machete to speak to us about the SANDF's involvement. Lieutenant Colonel, thank you for your time. Just take us through why it was important for you as a structure to be here at the Rand Show.
As the South African National Defence Force, we have a responsibility to create a consensus on defence. So we saw it fit that we come to the Rand Show. Coming to the Rand Show is part of what we call the Know Your Defence Force campaign, where we interact with South Africans. As you can see, there's a lot of visitors that are here that are enjoying our presence here. For us, it's very important that we afford the South Africans a touch and feel moment with their military equipment, because we serve in the South African National Defence Force at the behest of South Africans. They are basically our masters and principals, because they pay our salaries, they buy us all this beautiful military equipment that is here. So we are happy to interact with them. The kids, we also like speaking a lot about, the youth, because the Rand Show gives us an opportunity to interact with the youth. As you'd know, for force rejuvenation, we need youth, young blood to join the Defence Force. Young blood with various capabilities and expertise. So here in the Rand Show, we interact quite a lot with the young ones.
Now, Lieutenant Colonel, we can imagine that being in the force itself is quite a difficult one. How do you perhaps educate young people about the realities of what it means to be within the force?
What is noteworthy is the fact that you need to be a patriotic South African, and you need to understand that there are perils that come to the job. We are the last line of defense. Our role is to defend the territorial integrity of the Republic as well as its people and South Africa's interest. So at times we go to harm's way, and we're pretty safe. We understand the mandate. The mandate comes with its perils, and as South Africans ourselves, we know that the pains that South Africans are facing are the pains that we also should carry. So as we are here serving in uniform, we know the responsibility. We know what the Constitution expects from us. We know what South Africans expect from us. And we do our best to defend them at all costs.
And I guess just a last one, Lieutenant Colonel, in terms of educating young people to fully understand this environment, what were the challenges that you identified that then brought you to Rand Show in terms of breaking the taboos, in terms of how people understand the SANDF to operate?
You'd understand that previously South Africa, we have a rich history. Previously, citizens saw the military as people who are bringing harm to them. But now we are the People's National Defence Force. We interact with all races. We defend all races. We defend all the people of South Africa, united in their diversity. So we see the need to always come to the people of South Africa, to speak to them, to make them understand our mandate. Because most of the things that we do are not in a clandestine manner, but I would say they are not known. For instance, people would not know what we do in the DRC and other operations. People would not know what we do in support of the South African Police Service with Operation Prosper. But this is an opportunity where we create that rapport with the people of South Africa. We speak to them, we explain to them what we are about, and they see for themselves that we are not only men of steel, but we are also human beings.
Thank you very much for your time, Lieutenant Colonel. Hugo, you heard it there from the Lieutenant Colonel, just explaining that their purpose or their reasons for being here is to really educate South Africans about the work that they do and breaking some of those myths and also educating them about the realities of the SANDF. He was explaining there that, you know, as the Defence Force, their mandate is to protect the country, first line of defence, last line of defence, and he was just saying there that it's important to be in spaces such as the Rand Show in order to not only educate but also to convince people why they should join the army.
Well, certainly good to see the SANDF, or at least members of the SANDF, and many of the people that we saw in the background looking at some of that artillery. You've explained to us that there's lots of entertainment, but also a lot to be learnt. The one question I have is, how big is this exhibition? You know, is this the sort of place you come into and you walk through a couple of hours, or is it a day well spent?
Well, certainly, Hugo, you know, there's so much to do that one might actually feel that a day is not enough. I mean, we heard from the CEO of the Rand Show saying last year alone about 80,000 people throughout the duration that the Rand Show was running walked through those gates and experienced it. So there's so much to do. I mean, you have your exhibition center, you have out here with the display by the SANDF, you have life-size dinosaurs on the other side, you know, you have a food court there. So there's really quite a lot to do, and one might feel that actually a day is not enough, and I think people are always almost welcome to come more than just a day. So it's quite a lot and quite multifaceted, and there's really a lot of things that anyone can get involved in.
Now, the last day is tomorrow, is it, from what I understand? And if so, well, I suppose the other question would be, what for you has been the highlight, Kat?
Well, Hugo, you know what? Tomorrow's certainly the last day. Straight after here, I'm actually going to get a ride on the chopper that you can hear buzzing over my head. So, you know, people also have the opportunity to take a helicopter ride. It's about a minute or 30 seconds just around the Johannesburg Expo Centre. So, you know, last day is tomorrow. Fun activities are continuing. There's going to be a music show. We heard that Pabi Cooper is lining up the headline of the music show tomorrow. So lots of fun, and I'm definitely going to get on that chopper very soon.
Katleho Sekhotho coming to us from the Rand Show. Enjoy what's left of your afternoon.